Okay, we're recording. All I've said so far is last week we did the profiles, and the point of the profile is honestly just to not cause any objections, okay? Because what's going to happen is when you send somebody a request or if you message them, the first thing most people are going to do is they're going to look at your profile. And if you look like a walking advertisement, they will not accept you. If you look like a bum off the street, like I'm kind of looking right now, they're most likely not going to accept you. So you do want a nice professional picture, and you want a description that's going to capture someone's attention when they look. I've gotten several compliments, and I don't even know why, but I mean, I do know why. Let me say that confidently, because I followed Bob's formula. It wasn't anything special that I did. And so we won't go over that in detail tonight, but when you take LinkedIn suggestion for what they want you to add to your description, it sounds fine, but it's like, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. Well, Bob's theory and the book with Simon Sinek, Start with the Why, if you haven't read that book, write it down, read it, and then read it again. It is such a good book. But if you notice, Bob Heilig will talk about that book many, many times. And people don't care what you've done. They don't care at all. They're not impressed. They want to know why you do it. If you can inspire somebody why you do it, and they can relate to that, because truthfully, they don't really care too much about you. They care mostly what you can do for them. I mean, that's just nature and that's just normal. And so you want to write something that's going to inspire them. But let's say someone asked me this morning, they're like, okay, but my old job is on there. Do I need to switch it? No, you don't, because actually it's probably better. You want to look like professional. You could take a peek at mine. I'll show you mine in a few minutes. But okay, that's all I want to say about that, because I want to get into this tonight. So here's what I'm going to show you. Tonight and next week is pretty much going to be the same, because we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on it. And then we're going to work, okay? So I'm going to show you exactly how I work, and then we're going to work. And then I'm here to help you answer any questions. But I try to do this at least 30 minutes a day, and I have a little process that I use. And so I'm just going to show you how I work, okay? So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I believe I already have my LinkedIn up. And let me just tell you real quick, just so you know, so you're like, what are you doing? I answer a question. I answer any messages that I have first. So I do basically 5 or 6 little steps. But the first thing I do is I answer people's messages. The second thing I do is I search for new people. The third thing I do is I add, like after I search, I'm adding more people. I try to reach 50 people a day. You can easily do that in 5 minutes. It's literally just a click of a button. Bob suggests that you send them a message first. This is my personal opinion. I don't know that there's a right or wrong, but I have found I do better not sending a message first. I do better requesting who I want, and then after I request all my friends, I go back and I have a specific message that I send to the new people who have accepted my requests. So Bob says, and obviously he's the professional, so I think either or. Bob says when you message, like when I add somebody, there's an option to message them first. I don't do that, because then I found a better result personally for some reason to send that message after they accept my request. That's just a personal thing that I found better in me, that I'm getting a better response, I should say. And so, and then once you message, you're going to send a message, and you do all that, and then basically I'm done for the day. That's my work for the day. And then guess what? The next morning I wake up, I set my timer for 30 minutes, and now all those people that I messaged yesterday, I'm going to answer them and then search for new people. You know what I mean? So all that to say, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm just talking about. Okay. And I will tell you, I already kind of worked it today, so I don't really have that many messages, but that's okay. Typically, I wake up with 8 or 9 messages. Like each morning I wake up and I've got about 9 responses. So let me figure out how to share my screen here. Okay, so I can see Michelle. Michelle, can you see my screen okay? You can see me? Okay, perfect. Okay, you guys, so real quick, for those of you who weren't last week, just here's my profile, okay? So the main point of this, and guys, this is like beginner. I by no means consider myself a expert on this. I literally just took Bob's class, and this is how I'm playing it, and I just took it. But if you'll notice, I have my pictures kind of professional. I've got a nice little background there. He says it's important to have media, and then last week we talked all about this, and it's just to inspire people. What is that? Okay, whatever. Okay, so let's go and do my thing. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to click my messages, okay? Some of you you may not have a message yet. So we're not quite there yet, but just real quick, this is how I am right now. Okay, this is a nice example. So Carol Ann, okay, this is a classic example. I'm really glad this is here. So this is exactly what I do. When I send my message, this is what I send. Hi, Caroline. Thank you for accepting my request. I'd love to connect for networking. I'm trying to connect with other sharp, successful people like yourself. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. I'd love to know more about you and what you do. Thanks. Thank you for connecting with me. We share common areas of professional interest. Perhaps we might have to assist each other. I already read that. Sorry. Trying to go fast. That was rude. Let me read that again. Perhaps we will be able to assist each other in serving our target populations. Okay. Okay. So you'll notice, like with LinkedIn, it's a little different than Facebook. I find it's kind of okay to get right to the point. This is business, and it's okay. Now, sometimes if I'm having a good conversation, we'll go back and forth. Like this girl, Gianna, we had a little conversation before. But here's what I say. And the reason why I'm okay to jump right into this is because of what she said to me. Perhaps we can help assist each other in serving our target populations, okay? So that's why I feel comfortable going right into it. Okay, so hi, thanks. Sounds good. I'd love to know more about what you do. And then this right here, this I have saved in the notes of my phone, and then I literally just copy and paste that. Okay, so I would, she said absolutely, so let me see if, I'm just setting the appointment. Now you guys, the whole point of this every single time is to get them on the phone. It is petrifying, I'm not going to lie to you, okay? This isn't for the weak people. You have to get them on the phone if you want real results. This is what Bob says. I don't like doing that. I have not built my business on the phone. Every time the phone rings, I kind of hope they don't answer. But once I'm on the phone, it's totally fine, and I've gotten more comfortable. My only goal is to be consistent because I know the more I do it, the more comfortable I'm going to get and the better I'll get. So right now, I literally am just forcing myself to do it, okay? So are you free Tuesday morning? Now I can already see I've got a Tuesday right here, so I'm going to have to do her later. And you also want to put your time zone. I've gotten in trouble before with that. Okay, so there's my first thing, you guys. I answered people. Now, you guys may not have, and that's okay. So you might need to start here with step 2. Okay, if you go to search, let me get back to my home or whatever. Okay, I'm going to search for people. Okay, so you're going to look right here. With LinkedIn, you have something called connections. It's just like friends, okay? So you may have your friends are basically your connections. Then you have your second, you'll see this little guy. You can see when I'm pointing the arrow, right? Can you see that, Michelle? I see your face. Okay. So he's a second. This is basically a friend of a friend. And then a third party, that's going to be somebody that you have zero connections. That's someone that you have no connection with them. Bob says leave them alone. I say leave them alone. Right now, I only use the free service because I'm able to. So recently, so you want to know what you want to search for, okay? I originally started searching for real estate, but I'm not going to lie, and I got a ton of reply back. Because I feel like real estate, they're hard workers, they're used to putting out there, and it's fine. But what I found is they are always trying to recruit me. So that is why some of them were so eager to jump on the phone. They're like, ooh, yeah. And, and one lady almost did recruit me for health insurance or life insurance. So we looked more into it. Anyway, side note. But so this is, I yesterday decided to put teacher. And then Bob says to put Uber. So I'm going to put, somebody give me one. What can I put? Like entrepreneurial, I don't know. Anything you want. Let's say Tampa, okay? Because I'm in Tampa. So I'm going to search for people in Tampa. Okay. So now you're going to see the connections come up, okay? And now anybody who I am friends with, I'm not friends with, like if I am friends, they're going to come up with their, I should say friends, it's connections. If I'm already connected, it's going to say first. Now, this is my personal opinion. You do not have to do what I do. I feel weird messaging men because a lot of times, especially in my area, I've met with them in person and I don't want to go meet a man at Starbucks by myself. I just not comfortable with it. That's my personal opinion. You do with what you're comfortable and no one's judging you. Okay, so you'll notice that many of these probably already men or women because I've already connected to Tampa. So let's think of a different one. Lee, where are you from? Give me yours. Spartanburg? Is it Spartanburg? Yeah?
Yeah. Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Huh. You can literally search anything. And if this word is in there, unfortunately, I don't know how to spell Spartanburg. Okay, hold on.
T-A-N.
Is that right?
Yep, that's it.
Is that, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna think that's right. Okay, so I'm gonna search. I might have already searched Spartanburg. Okay. Oh, hey, there's Lee. Okay, we're already friends. So those are my firsts. So now I'm looking for women. Here we go. Perfect. So here's literally, you guys, this is how easy. I searched, okay? And now I'm literally pressing connect. Now, here's this pops up. LinkedIn members are more likely to accept that include a personal note. Bob says to do that. Personally, I found it better to not do that. That's me, in my opinion. I would suggest you try both ways and see what works for you. I'm going to send the exact same message either way. Okay, so I'm just going to say send now. Okay, so wait, what? Should have already gone through. Connect. Why are you not connecting? I don't want to add a note. I just want to send it. Let me click on her. Oh, okay, I did. It just didn't show me. So I'm pending. That's fine. Okay, so I try to, especially if I'm on my phone, this is literally like bing, 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 bing. I mean, I could do 50 in like 5 minutes. I'm not going to do all 50 right now, but you get the point. Okay, so just take a peek at her. Oh, perfect. Reading teacher, connect. Okay, I'm just going to send Leah. Okay, any of you know these people? You know what's really cool about this, though? Like if I have a really good conversation with one of these ladies and they're interested, I can refer them back to one of my Spartanburg rock stars, you know? I can say, and Bob said he does this too, like, you know, if you have a leader that you really trust and they're doing well, you can say, hey, I have an expanding team in your area. You know, I'm not going to take all the Spartanburg runs because I want you to take them. But I'm just saying, like, that's what I do. Okay, so any questions so far? Is this pretty easy? I mean, literally I've answered somebody's message and now I searched for whatever I wanted. You could do area, or the other day I did teacher, and I'm just clicking add friend. That's it. Super easy, okay? Really, I think it's easy. Okay, so now after I do that, you do as much as you want. Like I said, personally, I set a timer for 30 minutes, and so that's what I do. Bob said he would work LinkedIn like 10 hours a day. If you have that time, do it. If you have 20 minutes, do 20 minutes. It doesn't matter as long as you're working with the time you have. So now I'm going to go over to my network, okay? So with my network, now you'll see right here, when I started, I think I had like 200 connections. So now I'm going to go to the people that connected with me the last few days, and I'm just going to message them, okay? So this is a lot easier on my phone because I already have it copied and pasted. So I'm going to go back and find an older one. So they connected 2 days. I haven't really worked this weekend. So I'm looking back, if you could see where it says 2 days, I'm looking back to like 3 days. But look at all these people who accepted me, even though I didn't write them a note. Okay, let's see if I sent her a message. Yeah, okay. So you got to be careful about what you're saying, though. Look at who they are, because sometimes, like, obviously she is, I don't know, okay, she's a speaker and author. So I tailored it a little bit to her. You don't want to say, how long have you been teaching if she's not a teacher, you know, or how long have you been with your company if she is a teacher? Because as a teacher, that'd be weird. You say, how long have you been teaching? So pay attention to who you're messaging. But I got my message, so now I'm going to go back to my network, go back to my connections, and I just work backwards until I make it. So let's find, okay, she's a substitute teacher. Perfect. She needs a job. Okay. So, oh man, you know what's so awesome about on the phone? On the phone is even better. I work a lot. I don't typically work on my computer. I literally usually lay in my bed and do this. It's a lot easier. But so on the phone, there's a little light bulb, and it'll say, oh, I wish I could show you. Okay, whatever. It'll say, hey, Sophia, I see we have a connection with Bob Jones or whatever. Like, it'll give you a little something, you know, but it'll tell you how or why she would know you. But obviously, it doesn't have this here. So I still want to write, hi, Sophia. I'm not going to do this a bunch because I want you guys to be able to work. And if I could spell and type, that'd be so awesome. But typically, honestly, you guys, I use voice message. I use talk to text, which is ruining our typing skills, but I do. And I typically click that little light bulb, and the little light bulb will say, hey, Sophia, I see we have a mutual connection with blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, I see you've been doing this for this long. Congratulations. Okay. And then I send my little thank you for connecting with me. Remember, she was a teacher. So can I do anything on break for her? That doesn't really make sense because she's a teacher, right? So I would say, how long have you been teaching? Oh, I know, you guys. Don't laugh at my typing skills. Okay. Okay, and I literally will just do this. I mean, so not hard, right? So I would go and I would say, oh, this lady I actually know. Okay, so this lady I actually know, she used to go to church with me, so her message is going to be a little different. I might say, hi, Kay, I didn't know you were on LinkedIn. It's so good to hear from you. Have you had a lot of success, or what is your purpose for being on LinkedIn? I might say something like that because I know her. So make sure, you know, and you're going to make mistakes. I had a lady like, you really should read what you're saying to people because you blocked me on Facebook. I was like, what? Why would I block you? Oh, I remember why I blocked her. She was bashing Plexus and just had some, anyway, she's a disgruntled old ambassador. And anyway, she was just not being kind. So I just thought, I don't need, and I didn't know her before then. So anyway, I was like, well, best of luck, you know, whatever. What are you going to do? You just keep going. So anyway, and I go through and message all these people. I'm not going to do it now, but I already showed you a little one. I want to see real quick. I want to show you somebody that I had a really good conversation with. Okay. But you guys, literally that's all I do. That is it. So let's look at Gianna real quick. Okay. And take my message here. So I love to connect with you. Now this is December 11th that we started talking. So this was when I sent a message before she accepted my request. So, you know, change it up. I see we've shared, okay, you guys already read this. How long have you been with your company? Okay, so I'm looking towards getting my master's in nutrition. I'd like to combine my teaching experience, my passion for, I mean, she's basically screaming, recruit me, right? I mean, look at this. I would like to combine my teaching experience with my passion for nutrition and wellness. That's wonderful. Sounds like we have a lot in common. I was a teacher for 8 years. I now work in health and wellness. Are you enjoying your first year teaching? How's it going? Okay, she never responded back to me, and that's fine. So the other day I went back to her again. Hi, Gianna, I just want to touch base with you. One of the reasons I wanted to connect is, this is my thing that I literally copy and paste, okay? You guys have seen it. And I'll send that to you. Hey, Amy, sorry, I'm just now getting back. Teaching is going all right. I'm just not sure if teaching in the general education classroom is for me. I'd love to hear about your business. Okay, I understand that completely. I was a teacher for 8 years. Would you be available Monday? We could chat on the phone and see if this is the right fit. I am available Monday. When would be a good time? Sounds great. How's 10 a.m.? You see what I mean? Like, there's really, like, we're getting to the point. Like, this is a very, very typical conversation. There's literally, I could show you a bunch more, but that's basically how it goes. Oh, this lady, I didn't even respond. Okay, so somehow I missed this lady, but if I would go back in my, when I'm answering people, hopefully I would have caught that. So that is the gist, you guys. I'm going to unshare my screen for a moment. I'm going to take any questions, and then we are going to get to work, okay? So let's hear if I have any questions. What questions do you have? Any? Oh, let me look at the chat. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even hear any background noise. Is it okay now?
I have a question for you.
So you got it? Oh, do you have a question, Shaylee? Just unmute yourself. Ask away.
Okay. So this is actually really hard.
Oh, wait. You're not unmuted.
Oh.
Wait. You are unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? Maybe?
You can hear Shaylee?
Yeah.
I don't hear you, Shaylee. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, and I can hear Shaylee.
It's weird. Someone else talk. Let's see.
I just went through this on another call. Do you have your own speakers?
Oh, what in the world? I can't hear anybody. Are you talking to me, Gloria?
Yes.
And you guys hear each other?
Yeah.
That's so weird. Hold on. Try again.
Can you hear us?
Oh, yes. Okay. My volume was down. Hey, Becca. All right.
Okay.
Sorry, Shaylee. Go ahead. What was your question?
Oh, really good. This is actually really hard for me. How do we present ourselves as believable or trustworthy for this? Because I've had so many people treat me like I have no idea what I'm talking about. And then I was just showing my husband the other day. It actually made me cry. I was so frustrated. I reached out to a friend of a friend who was talking about all these issues that she's having. And I was like, you really should try this probiotic. And she was kind of rotten to me about it. And it made me cry. It really hurt. Mm-hmm. And literally yesterday, she posted a Facebook post of all of her triplex. It was like, I'm so excited to get started. I was like, are you serious? So when I asked her about it, I was like, hey, I'm really excited that you got started. What changed your mind? She's like, oh, well, I just trust this other person.
Yeah, it is hard.
That's hard. So how do you present yourself as trustworthy?
Well, first of all, I promise you it's happened to all of us, okay? And honestly, if she's going to treat you that way, just think of it as a blessing in disguise. I believe God is sovereign, and he's protecting you from something, and some people can be a headache. You don't want everyone on your team, truthfully. But here's the thing. Even still, I try not to explain things myself. I use tools. I literally just invite people, and you don't have to pretend you're the expert. You have to build your belief. And that's the thing. You've got to work on personal development, reading, if you ever heard, there's so many good books, but I would take 15, 20 minutes and read every day or listen. Doing Bob's class, you're going to learn a lot more. But the more you pour into that, you're going to be more confident. But we all feel that way. Honestly, have you guys felt that way? Rejected or people, every person in not just Plexus, but anyone who does anything great. Truthfully.
Well, here's the weird thing about it. My mom and I are known as witch doctors in our circles. It's kind of a joke. Not really. Nothing yucky. But we have a natural remedy for everything. And
Gotcha.
Everybody, even people I don't know, will message me and say, hey, I heard that you know how to. They want to know all about it. But as soon as you say, oh, it's an actual product, they lose their minds.
Yeah.
So,
well, Another thing is you're going to, I love Bob said this too, you're going to repel the ones, in order to attract the ones you want, you're going to repel the ones you don't. So don't worry about trying to please everyone. You focus on who wants it. Just like he said, use the word rotten, okay? It's those rotten apples. You're sorting. You're just looking for those who are interested. I'm sure I told you I wake up to 8 or 9 messages or whatever, but I probably send 100. You know what I mean? So I don't sit there and think, 80 people didn't respond to me. I used to do that, but I don't even realize it or know. I just get my eyes focused on those who do want it, and I don't even worry about those who don't. But I will tell you that took time, okay? I have had my moments where I almost wanted to quit because somebody hurt my feelings because we're people, But if you truly care about people, the ones who do want it are so worth it. And when you see, everyone on this call represents a life that's been changed, And let me look at everyone on here, if I would have quit the first time, which was like my 4th month in, I was a gold ambassador. Somebody really hurt me. I mean, like, bashed me publicly, called me, screaming at me, so mean. And I called my husband. I said, I'm done. He said, well, it's okay, honey. Good job. You tried. He didn't care. And then I called my upline. And I didn't call them. I texted them. I said, thank you guys. You've been so wonderful. This isn't for me. But you know what? I believe, now they may have heard it from someone else, but I wouldn't have been part of it. I wouldn't get to know these amazing ladies the way that I do and get to be part of their lives change. And I've had well over 1,000 join me since then. So, and the reason I didn't quit then is because my Jana, who you probably don't know as well, she's so sweet. She called me and she just was like, tell me what's going on. I told her, and she goes, has the products worked for you? I said, yes, you know. And she was like, let me tell you a story. My friend Ann Scahill, she told me a story. It like really inspired me. Ann had fibromyalgia, couldn't get out of bed, and now she's running marathons. I don't know if they're marathons, but she's running races and 5K and climbing mountains and all these things. And that is a life change. And she said, you need to learn about gut health. So if you're already know about these now, you already have a belief. Obviously, if you already know about natural healing and, you know, plant-based products. So honestly, that alone, I mean, I was going through Dunkin' Donuts every day before I did Plexus. Who am I to trust? I was no one to trust. But I just kept telling her, listen, let me show you this video from a professional. Let me hear the story. And I just kept pointing people back to tools, and I still do that. I still, to this day, will send a tool. I'll send videos. I send like the triplex video, the the microbiome video. That's all I do. I literally just invite people. But does that help at all? And,
yeah, it really does.
And it is intimidating, especially let me tell you my little fear right now. LinkedIn is not my ball game, you guys. Like, I do not consider myself business professional. Like the lady I met 2 ladies so far, and they both came like in business suits. I was wearing jeans, and I try to wear a nicer shirt, and I mean, look at me. I have a hard time, but whatever you're thinking is who you are. You know what I mean? Like, I just tell myself I can get there. It's okay. Right now, I'm just doing it. And the more you do it, the better it's going to get. I have not closed anyone on LinkedIn yet, personally, but I've had lots of phone calls and lots of follow-ups, and I'm just going to keep going. And it takes a learning curve, you know? I hope that helps. But just bring them to us. Who's your upline again? Is it Becca?
Yeah, Becca. She's been awesome. We stay in touch a lot, which is really cool because we went to Trinity together.
Oh, cool.
So
I
that's
went to
really
Trinity
nice.
too.
Yeah.
So Becca is incredible, and then Amber is incredible, and I am incredible. You've got like the best team ever. So all of us are here to help you. Just be like, listen, maybe you don't trust me, but I want you to hear my friend Becca's story. It's really helped her. Just be honest, and it'll be okay. But I'm sorry that happened. I think we've all been there. Every one of us on this call. Any other questions about what I just did? How does it seem? Easy? Can you guys do, I mean, it's easy. You saw this. Yes. Am I saying anything magic? I'm literally using the script. I mean, that is what I'm doing. Yes.
I got a question or two. I came in kind of late and had to go in and out. But so, 1, will you run through those 5 steps again? And then 2, you said you do it for 30 minutes. Do you just do connections, searching and connecting with people for 30 minutes, or do you do the whole thing for 30 minutes?
The whole thing that I just told you, I typically do for 30 minutes. Now, the phone call and getting in touch with them, that may take obviously more time. Like if I have several appointments,
yeah,
then I don't count that in my 30 minutes. But for 30 minutes, so I'll literally go like this, set the timer for 30 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 30 minutes.
That's what I do. And then I first answer people. And the reason I answer people first is because, as you saw just a moment ago, somebody gets buried. So I go through and answer everybody first. And then I search for new people in whatever topic it is. And then I add those friends, the ones that I typically add ladies. And then I message my new connections. I go to the new connections and their number, and I go back and I send my initial message to every single person. Now, if you're doing this daily, like the weekends, I don't typically do it. If you're doing it daily, you normally only have maybe 20 to send, you know, it depends on how many you added the day before. And then you just add. I mean, you send that initial message, and again, make sure you read it. If it's a teacher, you know what I mean? Like, just make sure you respond well. And if you don't beat yourself up. I've made mistakes, let's just put it that way. And then that's it. And I send all those, and then I'm basically done for the day. And I do that within 30 minutes. And if I have more time, I'll add more friends, you know, or whatever. Sometimes people answer you back immediately, and then sometimes I get in a conversation, and that's fine too. I don't chit-chat too much. I pretty much get to the point. I build like 1 or 2 sentences of rapport, maybe, and then I use that. One of the reasons I'm going, you know, blah, 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 I'm an entrepreneur, you know, and I set the appointment. Now, one thing I've been bad about, you guys, hopefully you guys are not like this, I have been a little bit bad about not writing down my appointments immediately. And then, like, for instance, it's Sunday night. I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to go back and I need to make sure I have all my appointments set. And tomorrow I'm supposed to meet somebody for lunch, and I think I have a phone call at 10 if that lady's able to. And then Tuesday I have a couple, but I didn't write any of them down. I'm horrible. That is like the worst thing ever. Please don't be like me in that sense. I don't know what my problem is. I do almost everything off the top of my head.
So were there 4 steps, Amy? 1, answer, respond. 2, search. 3, add friends. 4, message. And then I thought you said 5, but did I miss it?
Well, I confirm appointments, and then I get on the phone with them.
Okay.
So, like, while I'm working my 30 minutes, I'm basically doing those 4 steps. But then, you know, I'm also confirming appointments, write it down, and then get on the phone. And I'm promising you, being on the phone is not comfortable. The last week, we're going to talk all about that, but I do have a script for the phone as well. So I try to ask the questions. Bob has a whole thing on it. We'll go through that the last week. And let me offer this to you. I offered it to Becca. And so hopefully we could do this maybe tomorrow when I call my person, Becca, if you're able to. But I offered to let her listen in one of my calls. And if any of you want to do that, then you're welcome. You know, I'll make a little schedule. So when I say that, I don't know. I'm going to need feedback on this. Like, I'm thinking I could call Becca first. She could be on mute, and then I could call my person and not tell the person. But is that creepy? Like, do I need to say, do you mind if someone's listening for training purposes? I don't know. I mean, I remember when I was having my baby, there was like somebody learning, and I was like, okay, you know, I don't mind it. People that are trained. So I'd be happy. I do have a recording of my very, very first phone call. I got on the phone and I opened Zoom, and I didn't tell them. I never even watched it. I got to find that. And it was way too long. My first few calls were like 40 minutes long. Now I narrow it down to like 15 minutes. And let me just say this, and this will be for the rest, you know, for the last day. But it depends on the person. Like, if you have good rapport, of course. But I don't keep them on the phone too long, and I do not try to convince them on the phone. I ask them if I can send them information. I build rapport. I ask them questions. I see if they're a good fit. I bluntly say, are you looking for an opportunity? Oh, well, let me see what my script says. But I bluntly say, like, you know, are you looking? I can't remember. I got to find it. But I bluntly ask them if they're interested. And some of them say yes. Some of them say no. If they say no, I'm not going to be like, are you sure? You know, but you don't understand. I don't do that. I say, no problem. Would you be somebody that I can use for referrals? Like, if you know someone who this, that, and the other. And everyone has said yes. So I said, would I be able to send you some information that you can maybe pass on? And everyone has said yes. So you never know. They can watch it and then maybe get helped. But anyway. All right, you guys ready to do this? You want to work for a few minutes? I don't want to stay on longer than 10. I know it's late. I'm going to go ahead and stop.